Star Wars The Last Jedi is directed by Rian Johnson and it stars everyone from The Force Awakens with some new characters and a welcome return and a full role from Mark Hamill himself.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So this review is a week late after everyone else has seen the film, already loved it, hated it, and everything else in between. I shouldn't say that this is late, but it's a deliberate notion that I wanted to really give you my full opinion. I wanted to take my time with this one. I won't tackle everything, and I won't dive into spoilers, but not unless this comes out on DVD and I'll go on a full universe review on it. If you don't know what my universe reviews are, they're on my channel, check them out. But here we are onto a concept I like to call trailer to film. A trailer to film takes all the scenes from the trailer and I talk about the overall feel of the trailer and compare it to the movie. Do the scenes hold up? Does it convey its excitement just as well? So I'm only going off 2 trailers and I'll be commenting on mostly one, but let's see how this goes. So the teaser trailer for Star Wars hits us off in excitement, ideas, theories, worry, and above all else, anticipation. The second trailer expands this idea, tells you a important message, I think, embedded in this trailer, and I think we all need to heed to it.
This is not going to go the way you think.
And the way it goes is definitely different. Now, of course, to get this out of the way, the trailers are good, but it's the idea of knowing a few things as this movie was going to come out. This will be Carrie Fisher's last film, and that this film teases the possibilities to a change in plot. Which brings me to 3 scenes that stuck with me, and this is what we're going to be talking about throughout this review.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
So, from trailer to film, let's get into this! The plot of this film is rather a secretive one at best. So on the level of this movie is about Rey finding Luke Skywalker in hopes to turn the tide against the First Order. Get some training, you know what I mean? Finn, Poe, Leia, Snoke, and Ren all have their part to play in this as the First Order closes in on the last of the Resistance fighters. And I think if I could boil down for you what we have here is, let's go to The Force Awakens. I think that movie capitalized on the excitement that Star Wars was coming back, and it allowed you to be a kid again, made you feel like you could be a part of something. The Last Jedi went, okay, we can have fun, but let's focus up. It takes a mature route. And diving right into this, we're going to talk about the first scene from the trailer that stuck out to me. Poe losing his fighter. So why did this one stick to me? Well, because in the first film, he was in it, but only showed off a little bit of his skills, probably twice as a good fighter pilot, and was gone for a great chunk of the film. So I had imagined the sequel would show him more, show his cocky attitude, and show off how really cool this character is. And for the most part, this film does that. But the reason why I point this scene out was because, does Poe ever catch a break in flying? Every time we meet him, he is a damn good pilot, and he's good at what he does, but it's never for long. The Force Awakens gets him into an X-Wing jet, and it's shot, and he can't go anywhere. He gets into a TIE fighter, it's shot down. Only once has he actually been able to come in to save the day and not deal with his own exploding fighter. And here in The Last Jedi, he does have, again, a great scene showing off his skills, but then, whoops! Sorry, Poe, your time is up. I was wondering what they were going to do with his character and how they were going to utilize him in this film. And the truth is, they do a very good job utilizing him, but not in the way you may think. It's something to look out for. Our second scene in these is ships scraping the ground, charging towards something. At the time, I didn't know what all that was about. Now I do. And without spoiling anything, this is a scene towards the end of the film. aesthetically pleasing, great finale, along with a few surprises that come after it. Those crystal foxes are probably my favorite creature in the Star Wars universe. And don't get me started on those porgs. I'll just say that they're placed well, executed oddly well enough, but they were just there. And that's all I'll say. And there isn't much I could tell you about this second scene without ruining anything, but I will tell you that a lot of characters are at play. No, that's still vague. That's probably not even likable at best in terms of a review. It's a great scene, great concepts, and really great action. That's the best I can say. And finally, we have a line from Rey herself, and a moment, I think, while not completely true in this moment, it is true in the film, just in a different order.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
I had said that in my Force Awakens review, my universe review, we have two opposite sides of the spectrum. Rey, an abandoned girl who has unchecked power, but who has no guidance. We have Ren, who is just focused enough, but too much influence from the dark side, and that brings about conflicting balance in his choices. It's at this point that these two characters are brought together in more ways than one, and no, this is not a spoiler, for reasons bigger than themselves. Yes, Rey can be considered a Mary Sue, but they deconstruct these characters and tear apart what it is you hated and provide a lot of thought into what they can be. And that is what this movie does. Takes the fun out to a point where we need to see these characters in a better limelight, because the outrage over these characters, the subject to them being overpowered, is ridiculous. The movie addresses it as raw power.
Raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
And these two characters are at the height of their powers. And the biggest thing to consider is where they are at in this story. I tell a lot of people who ask me if I've seen this movie, and they ask what I think of it. I will tell them, I walked out of this film knowing that I saw a great film, but I saw something more into what they were trying to do. It makes it a lot harder to say, oh, it's good, but, because everyone will take that as a negative thing. They turn it into a character study. Luke is the prime example of that.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Luke is at a much different place than he was 30 years ago. He is filled with guilt and remorse. He is cantankerous to a reasonable degree of describing him of what kind of man he is at this point. And yes, I do know that Mark Hamill has expressed distaste for the direction of this character. I understand that, but this is what we got, and it really shows the caliber that Mark Hamill has to disagree, but still give us his best performance I've ever seen from him in years. All of these elements come together very well, but it is a film that goes about its business thinking about you, but it's not going in the direction you'd expect. And that's what a lot of people are pissed about. But in the end, I would have to say I liked Star Wars The Last Jedi and would buy it on Blu-ray, only because I'm a bit of a traditionalist. If I get one thing on Blu-ray, I kind of have to get the rest. This is not a great ranking kind of video. So, what did you guys think of The Last Jedi? Did you love it, like it, hate it? For whatever reason, I'd love to know. Comment below and let's talk. Thank you all so much for watching. Here on my channel, I review films, sometimes, reviews of TV shows in 7 minutes or less, recommending and recapping, and universe reviews, taking a franchise and talking about them in full for all intents and purposes, of talking about the character arcs, story-driven arcs, and all of its universe build-up. If any of this interests you, give my channel a look, subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll get you more videos in the future.